In September, I travelled to the island of Mallorca in an attempt to hike all 10 stages of the GR221, a distance of 140 kilometres. This is my story. I travelled from the airport to Palma City, collected some camping gas and took a bus to Port dAndratx and started walking straight away. The midday sun was intense as I made my way up through the hills, and the shade provided by the trees was very welcome. After 3 hours, the town of San Elm came into view. Situated on the southwest corner of Mallorca and protected by the island of La Dragonera, which is just off the coast. This vantage point gives an opportunity to look back at the forested hills that were travelled through. The sea in San Elm looked inviting, but a cool beer was needed to celebrate the completion of stage 1. I stayed the night in Hostel Dragonera. The room was simple and clean. The next morning I loaded up with 4 litres of water and started out on the first climb of the day. Oh, it's a nice cool breeze here. That's the town I stayed in last night, San Elm. And that's Dragonera Island out there. I thought I was at the top when I got here, but I'm not. The top is off over there. Oh. You really have to look out for the spray paint, because otherwise you get lost very easy. Okay. So this is a Trappa Monastery. It's an old Jesuit monastery from, I don't know, many years ago. I can see why they came here as isolation, because there's no roads in. Trying to think now, that's where we came over this morning. So they're renovating the monastery. There's only 2 ways in, over that mountain or up over that mountain there. 2 pathways. That's a safer route, that one. If it's raining or anything, I wouldn't recommend coming over that cliff face. It would be just too slippy. That's the mountain. We have to get over. Camping on the other side of that. I stopped to look back over the distance covered, with views back to Port dAndratx. The trail climbed higher up the rocky slopes to where I had planned to camp. I can't explain what happened next, but for some reason, I felt uneasy. So instead of setting up the tent, I kept walking and walking. The church bells were ringing out for 7 o'clock as I entered SDNX. I had 30 minutes to find a spot to pitch the tent before sunset. Oh, this is my first stealth pitch. Right beside the motorway there, or the roadway there. So just worn out now. I just need to go to sleep. I left the campsite before sunrise and quickly made my way back onto the trail, trying to be as quiet as I could. So last night's camp wasn't a great one. When I was unpacking my bag, I discovered I didn't have a sleeping bag. For some strange reason, I didn't pack it away. So it's at home, keeping warm. So luckily enough it wasn't too cold last night. But it's going to make an interesting couple of nights in the tent from here on. But it's a beautiful day. The early morning sun cast long shadows over the mountains. I had spotted a yacht anchored in a sheltered bay. I felt envious of the people on board and imagined them being rocked to sleep in their bunks and the soothing sound of the sea lapping against the hull. The sea that morning was flat and calm. We're taking that route to Esporles, so we don't have to drop down to Banyol, Bufar. So this is variant 221.3. so we turned off there. We could have went on to Banyalbufar, which is the main route, and come back up again, but you're going down to the sea and coming back up. So I did so much walking yesterday, I just want a handy day. So I'm taking this ferry in here, cuts across all the way and down into Esporles for a beer. Just want to make one thing clear. That's not my bones creaking. It's this rucksack. I've tried everything. It just won't stop. It won't stop. It's driving me crazy. The next morning I was the first one down for breakfast and left Hostal Esporles promptly as I had a big day ahead. Drop down into the valley, back up over that and into Valldemossa. Valldemossa is a beautiful town with lots of narrow streets and pretty houses. I grabbed the quick coffee and an empanada, and then it was back up into the mountains. My camp spot was on top of this ridge. The sea below was visible when the cloud and mist allowed it. That's me done for the day anyway. Tent is set up. I'm going to try get a sunset on the mountain up there later on, but I don't think it's going to happen because it's very cloudy. Right. This is the setup now without the sleeping bag. I'm in the liner and the cargo sack. It's only a light, but let's see how it goes. Because I'm not. I was on the move by 6 in the morning and stopped for coffee to watch the sunrise. Bloody hell, it can't get any more dangerous than it is. Holy shit. Right, I can see what they're saying is dangerous. The spot up there. A big rock. That big rock fell down. Took all those trees out of it. Jeez, carnage. Right, skip past here quick. So there are the mountains that we just came down off. Down through the forest. And around. Cloud is covering that mountain over there now. I had to quicken my walking pace as I entered Daya, as the thunder and lightning started. Just coming out of Daya, or Daya. Orange juice. Be rude to say no. What a spot to live. Overlooking the sea. Fresh orange juice. That's Blackie. Oh. I took a variant on the route and it brought me to Port Sayer. From there I took the old wooden tram into Sayer town. I started out at 8 the next morning and had my breakfast from a local panaderia. The mountains that lay ahead looked huge in the early morning light. just heading to the Kubar Reservoir now. Nice to get onto the flat again. But the plan is to camp further along, but I think that's going to have to change because they're forecasting thunder and lightning. So I might have to push on to Lluc, which is 17 kilometers away. So that's Kubar Reservoir. It's actually pretty low, very low. Hours 38. It's 1 o'clock. That's the highest point of the whole trail, the GR221, they call the Pratt, 1,200 metres. I'm not going to stay in the tent tonight. It's too windy and there's a forecast of thunder, so I'm going to leg it down before it starts. So what I'm going to do is stay in Lluc Monastery. Hopefully there's a bed there for a weary pilgrim. So I'm not finished climbing yet. I have to go down into the valley, back up the other side, and then from what I can remember I dropped down into Lluc from there. So there's still 3 hours of walking to be done.
I eventually arrived at Lluc Monastery, where there was a bed available. The next morning, before leaving, I went to the church. I find places like this very quiet and calming.
It's only when you're down you can see how high those mountains really are. That's where we were yesterday.
After 5 hours, I entered the town of Pollenca before visiting one more high point for a last look at this beautiful island. I finished in the cooling waters of Port de Pollenca. Thank you for joining me on this adventure. I hope that you liked it.